Hey guys, I know I did a video earlier, but I guess I'm trying to compensate for lost time. But um, so I guess I'll do a double whammy and give you guys a second book review. So this book that I'm about to talk about is, first of all, I guess we'll get the easy stuff out of the way. It was very fascinating to read, hard to put down, and honestly, the history behind the two characters in the book and their struggles was just so powerful and very um, interesting to read about. But you could see their struggles as to cope with one another and to survive throughout the challenges in each of the chapters. Um, Obviously, if you guys haven't gotten to the point where you understand what type of book I'm talking about, talking about the novel by Tayari Jones, An American Marriage. I heard about it from Bill Gates, top 10 books that you should read of 2020. And while I was traveling in Nashville this year, um, I heard they had it in stocked at the Barnes and Nobles on Vanderbilt University, and this was before the pandemic hit, and I rushed over to buy it to buy it from the Barnes and Nobles there, and it's basically a reverse of what most people would consider, um, of what stereotypically, I guess we should put it, about stereotypically what people consider to be the traditional marriage story of, boy meets girl during childhood, they end up married, um, they end up trying to make ends meet, and that type of stuff. Um, but this is actually from the perspective of an African American couple, which I really find interesting. Um, they end up going to the same college together and married after their parents get to know each other, and the wife owns a puppetry business. She makes dolls and stuff like that, and while the husband works like steel mill, I think. Um, I believe, and while driving to meet his wife, he gets pulled over and is wrongfully incarcerated. And the halfway into the story is basically a back and forth letter between the husband and the wife as to explain what's happening on the husband's end and how he's coping with his struggles and his challenges while his wife is struggling on the outside world to make ends meet and is struggling with her own identity as well to try and understand whether or not she's still his wife because she doesn't have a husband supporting her anymore because he can't. And then there's an interesting love triangle split between the husband, the wife, and the wife's best friend, which makes things even more interesting to learn about and complicated to understand. But it honestly, especially with what's going on right now, it really speaks volumes too, I feel like, about the struggles African Americans go through on a daily basis. And I'm not going to get too deep into this because but like it shows the struggles that they go through and a lot of concepts of wrongful accusations and injustices, but it's one of those books that also you want to learn more about because it's really well written and there's a lot of history behind it and it's captivating, so you can't it's hard to put down, but at the same time It's fiction, so you can't take everything in it seriously, but what there clearly is a cause that can be related to what's happening right now to show the injustice that African Americans face in our community. But in this case, they make ends meet and it's considered a happy ending story, but in reverse with the concepts used in this case with African Americans, which I find very fascinating. And honestly, Tayari Jones does a very good job at describing everything, the scene, the characters, the vivid imagery, the wording. It's just all brilliant. Like, I had a hard time actually putting this book down, and to be honest, I could go further in my explanation of it because it's just that type of a book. And the characters of uh, Roy Hamilton, I believe, and Celestial are just, they're so complex and there's so many layers to them that this type of book is just, it makes it so interesting to learn about how they go through their life in this novel, and both the good and bad times, the struggles, the challenges they face as a married couple in Atlanta, Georgia, and it just makes for such a beautiful story. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I really urge you to check this book out because it explains so much and is just so eloquently written that you will not be disappointed by it in any way. If anything, I think you will be inspired. But like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and kick that bell to get notified, and tell me what you want to hear me review next for book review. Peace.